Oh boy, do we have an episode in store for you. If you want all the tea, all the stories, the behind the scenes action of what went down on Groove Cruise 2025, you're going to want to listen to this episode. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I'm your host, Emma Capotis. Welcome to the official Groove Cruise 2025 recap and review. Also, I just realized I might need to change my intro because this podcast is not necessarily weekly anymore. Your girl had a baby, has a full-time job, and she's booked and busy. So weekly may not happen anymore, but we're here no matter what. These are some of my favorite episodes to film. I'm just going to get right into it. These are usually long, so I will try and get to the point, but I go in on my festival reviews. I like to be fully detailed because you guys might want to attend these events. And if you're going to spend this much money, I want you to fully understand what it's like. I want to share the fun stories and memories. It's like something for me to look back on. And I really just like to answer as many questions as possible so you get like a well-rounded picture of what an experience like this is like. So with all that being said, here's a breakdown of what I'm going to be going into in this episode, and then I'll do a quick ad read from our sponsor, and then we're going to dive right in. So first and foremost, I'll give you guys a quick overview of what Groove Cruise is and a little bit about the ship we were on, which was Royal Caribbean. I'm going to talk a little bit about why I am now like gung-ho on cruise ship festivals because I fucking love them. We'll talk a little bit about what all-inclusive means when it comes to a cruise experience. Then I'll dive into like stage breakdown, the best sets, my pros and cons list, which really it's like my top favorite things, but then also things I would love to see improved for 2026. And then favorite moments, wild stories for the end. And then I also want to include in this, because I got a lot of questions, I want to include some tips and advice for newbies, and then answer your questions from Instagram because I did get a lot of people responding to my stories. I got a lot. And then lastly, I will wrap up with how to book for 2026 because I saw a lot of people being like, help, don't understand the room breakdown, don't understand the price breakdown. What the fuck do I do? So I'll also clip up this episode, I think, just to like break this into pieces. But yeah, grab a snack, grab a drink, settle in. We got a lot to talk about. So let's do all of the things. First and foremost, though, I want to shout out two sponsors. These were both products I used my entire experience on Groove Cruise. You know them, you love them. I've talked about them a lot. But first and foremost is Loop earplugs. Could not love them anymore. Could not shout them out anymore. I had two pairs of these. I have the Experience 2 ones in this beautiful rose gold color. These were brand new. And then I also brought the Engage 2. The slight difference between those earplugs is basically the sound decibels. So both block up to 18 decibels of sound. So it preserves the quality. It's not a muffled sound. It's a clear sound. It just blocks any damaging levels for your hearing. Experience is great for like festivals, concerts, all that. Engage, same thing, except it allows more sound closer to you. So Engage, like think of engaging in like conversations. So if I was going to like a stage and I was like, I'm going to be hanging towards the back and I want to talk to my friends and hear them more, then I was wearing my Engage Loop earplugs. If I was like all the way up in the front, which happened a lot on Groove Cruise because some of them you walk right up to the stage, I was wearing my Experience just because I was literally standing in front of a speaker. So I like having both options. Sometimes I want to talk and be chatty little Kathy. I'll wear my Engage. Sometimes I wear my Experience. Either way, if you guys want to save 15% off, you can use my code LoopX-Emma Capotis. LoopX-Emma Capotis, 15% off. Also want to do a little shout out to Lunchbox because I wore my Lunchbox light pack pretty much the whole weekend. I also brought my snack pack when I just wanted like a little fanny pack to run around in. You can still see I have all my little trinkets still like hung all over my bag. These were like little gifts from our group. These were gifts I got from strangers. So got to shout out Lunchbox Light Pack. This has been my go-to now for my last two festivals. It does not have the hydration component. It is one tall compartment, so it fits like taller items. It has a water bottle holder in here, all the nice like zipper pockets for storage. It's anti-theft, so it has your zippers. Everything is inverted, so it's facing like the back of you. So it's an anti-theft bag. It's just lighter, and I don't really need the water component as much. So Absolutely love this bag. My discount code for the Lunchbox Light Pack is Emma K, just Emma K, one word. And that's the letter K. And you guys, I think we'll save $5 off this pack. So big fan. It's kind of like replaced the hydration pack for me recently. So anyways, we love the sponsors. Shout them out. Go get products. Appreciate you guys. It helps keep the lights on and us running as a business. All right. I'm going to go quick because I want to get into this. So let's talk Groove Cruise 2025. This was my second Groove Cruise. I have been a partner now for 2 years. Absolutely loving my partnership with the team. The Groove Cruise has been around. I think this was their 21st anniversary because last year was like the big 20th celebration. And they had reached out to me before last year to bring on Rave Culture Cast as a media partner, which was so fucking exciting. Had not really done anything like that before. This was my first cruise ship festival. So after last year, completely blown away by the experience. You guys can go check out all my old vlogs and my episodes from last year, but basically was sold for life. So much so that my entire group last year rebooked for this year, and then we added on like 5 more people. So we had 17 people in our group this year, which I don't usually travel with a group like that, never of that size. And that just is a testament to how amazing the experience is. And then for next year, the entire group rebooked with, I don't even know how many more people. Like we have to be at least up to 20 to 22 people for next year. It's fucking crazy. So as of right now, knock on wood, I am planning on going in 2026. We'll see where life takes us. And I missed a work obligation this year. It just happened to fall the same time. So I just have to like figure that out for myself next year. But anyways, I wanted to let you know, should be going. Before we dive in, I want to give you guys my discount code because it'll save you $50 off per person per room. So if you are going in a quad room and you use the discount code Rave Culture Cast, all one word, no spacing, Rave Culture Cast, you can save up to $200 off a quad room. So plug that in when you guys book your packages. Really appreciate that. It helps me out a ton. And that way you guys, you're part of the Rave Culture Cast fam on board. Hope to see you guys in 2026. So that's kind of like the background. This was the second year of the partnership. They brought me on to do content creation and artist interviews. I get to host an activity. So it's really exciting. And I get to do like all the fun things that I love and really participate in the culture of Groove Cruise. So this year, the sailing was on the Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas, which was the largest cruise ship festival in history. Let me run that back. This year, we participated in the largest cruise ship festival in history, which is freaking bananas. The ship was incredible. I've never been like on a world-class ship like that. It was mind-blowing in person. So next year's ship is the Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas, which is slightly bigger. Insane, but it is slightly bigger than the Allure of the Seas, and it's like all the amazing things you can imagine: rock climbing wall, mini golf, like so many dining options, aqua theater on the back again. Like go look up the book while I'm talking, like Google the Wonder of the Seas Royal Caribbean and you guys will see. So that's like a little bit of the background on this year and last year. And just to give you perspective, in 2024, the cruise ship we did was the Norwegian Encore, and that was, I think, about like 3,000 capacity, I want to say. This year was 6,500 capacity. It was absolutely massive. Like I think it nearly doubled if it wasn't like 3,500 last year. So it was a big jump in the amount of people, the experience, the boat. We felt that it was definitely like crowded for sure. Not crowded, sorry. It just was like just a full ship, and the entire ship is Groove Cruise. There are not any normies on the ship. Like the whole fucking cruise is your playground for 4 freaking days. So absolutely amazing. We left on Thursday, January 23rd, and you dock on Monday, the 27th. You're off the boat by like 8 a.m. So it is a 4-day cruise ship, 96 hours of nonstop music. Literally nonstop. There are no breaks. There is no like, oh, the music stops from 5 to 7 a.m. Like, nope. There is music playing 24/7 for 4 days straight. It's crazy. It isn't like all-inclusive experience. So if you've cruised before, you know kind of how that works. But if you haven't, Essentially what that means is like when you buy your package and your room, you get like your stateroom for the whole trip. And then most of the dining is included. So there's like a buffet, there's a main dining room, there was a hot dog stand, donuts, like all kinds of dining that was literally included. And then of course there's like all additional restaurants. So there was like an Italian place, sushi, hibachi, Johnny Rockets, like all these additional places. That's like normal restaurants you would have to spend money in. So those did not come with like your purchase. But everything else is included. Obviously like the theming, the beach day, you do dock for one day, you get off the boat, you have a party on the beach. We'll talk about that later. That's included. I'm trying to think what else you get. Obviously, like you get like towels and all that kind of stuff. So I'll talk a little bit about add-ons in a minute, but that's kind of like what is a part of your experience. And again, there's a million things of programming. So, you know, some of the other reasons I really, really love Groove Cruise, other than just like the team and the community and the family of the GC fam, like it is so unique. It is so unlike any other community I've experienced before. Like there really is a culture of these like veterans who have done this for like 10, 12, 15 years. And they really welcome you in as virgins, which is what they call you. If it's your first year, you're a virgin. So it's just an amazing family to be a part of. This cruise skews a little bit older. I've said that before, but I did notice that even more this year. Not like, again, literally anyone, any age is welcome. Do not let that like freak you out if you're like 21, like anybody is welcome. But if you're like a raver in your 50s and you're like, I don't know where I fit in anymore, or like, I don't know where I can go, blah, blah, blah. There are so many people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s plus. They're like everywhere. It definitely feels like an older festival for fucking sure, which I think is personally fucking awesome because this community knows how to party. They're the most wild, unhinged people I've ever been a part of, but they know how to handle their shit and they're responsible, and you know, that's a great part of it. So that's like all fun. Definitely some sexual undertones on Groove Cruise. I always mention that. I just say like it's a very free space, very free community. So people will like let their freak flag fly, and some people wear like little to no clothing. Obviously you're supposed to wear clothing, but you know, you might see a dude walking around in a thong is my best way to put it. Again, I'm going to be honest with you guys so that you know what you're walking into. You do not have to partake in any of that. Obviously, like if you dress modestly, I dress more modestly, like you do that. So I just want you to know it's like any other rave or festival where you'll see like a girl walking around in pasties. So that is a part of it as well, but it's just a huge freaking party for 4 days straight, and it's so fun. And then I also just feel like no one does programming like Groove Cruise. There are other cruise ship festivals out there on the market, obviously, but they don't have the programming that Groove Cruise has. That's what makes it different. I work directly with the team. Got to shout out Maley, who puts together the activity schedule, Skeeter, who puts together the whole talent and the lineup. Not only do they have music playing around the clock, they have programming. So again, everything from activities. So like I hosted Family Feud on board. There's like giant Jenga classes. There's like beer pong. There's Aid. My friend Aid did an intention setting workshop and human design reading. So every kind of like interest or hobby, there's an activity for it. And then on top of that, they schedule artist activities as well. So one of the best things is like your favorite artists are just with you on the ship. They're mingling with you. They're hanging out in the crowd. They're playing multiple sets. It's like just so many surprises, and like this magic happens there because it's not like a festival where your artist like goes on stage at their scheduled time. They play once, they leave. Like, no, I'm trying to think of an example, like Seven Lions. He was one of the headliners. He played at least 3 sets. He played a throwback set, which was my fucking favorite. Then he went and played a surprise Abraxas set with Demibo and Blastoise, which was not on the schedule. That was a surprise. He played a regular like set in one of the theaters, and he did like pop-up B2Bs. So the artists are like leaning into the experience, and they're there to have fun, and they're there to experiment and just like explore, and like they're just throwing down and doing whatever the fuck they want to do. So that's a huge plus to me. I just think it's so cool to see the artists having fun and participating, and you have multiple chances to see them because you will miss them on one night, but it doesn't matter because they're playing another night. So I love that you have the option of like most of the artists playing multiple sets. But anyways, back to the programming. So, sorry, I'm going to be all over the place. There's just so much to talk about with this, but the programming, like I said, is spectacular. They have artist hosted activities, they have artist hosted dinners. So, like, you can, my friend Aid went to dinner and did sushi with Ranger Trucko, and it was like a small, intimate group. Those are types of things that you sign up for. And those artist dinners cost extra money. So, that's like something you can purchase, but it's small and it's limited spaces for that. So, anyways, clearly you can tell there is something to do at every hour around the clock. You kind of like will never be able to do it in one weekend, which is why I keep coming back. So I'll talk later about some of the things I did, but yeah, the programming is just absolutely spectacular. The other thing, like I mentioned a little, is it's a choose your own adventure type event. We had a group of 17. We did do some things completely as a group where we were all present, but there's so much time to just like side quest, do whatever the fuck you want, go explore, go pop into a surprise set, go do a tarot card reading if you want, go tan, go to the spa, go sit in the hot tubs for a little bit, go to the after hours, go back to your room. Like, it's a choose your own adventure. It's a very, very, very safe space. You go through like almost like airport TSA security getting on board on the port. They have dogs. Like, it's a very safe experience. I've walked back to my room alone at night. Don't feel nervous around like walking alone on the ship if that's something you're concerned about. So I just love that it's like pick your choice. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to the pool? Like, and we would change our minds so many times. We were like, okay, we're like not feeling this anymore. Like, let's go sit in the theater, change up our environment a little bit. So some of my favorite moments, like the last night I was so hungry. It was like 11 o'clock. I went and popped over to the hot dog stand. I brought like back a bunch of glizzies to my friends. We were all just like downing hot dogs on the dance floor. Like, there's just like random shit like that. Like late night pizza that we would all grab before going to going to bed. So that's kind of like, you know, a light touch on all the things I love about Groove Cruise. There's also a really cool culture built with their resident artists. So unlike a lot of other festivals where it's like a new lineup every single time, you do get that with Groove Cruise. They're always innovating, always pushing to have new artists, but they do have an amazing undercard of residents who play like almost every single year, and they are spectacular. So it's worth going to see like Anthony Atala or Doc Brown, or I'm trying to think who else is on board, like Deep Fake, who's absolutely amazing, Detroit techno artists, like just so many incredible artists who play every single year. And it's worth like going. And Scooter and Lavelle was the one I was trying to think of. So really, really cool to see these resident artists who just like love Groove Cruise and come back every single year. I want to talk a little bit more about all inclusive, so you guys know what your ticket includes. So like I mentioned, I covered dining options, all that kind of stuff. There's a gym on board. I actually went and did a group workout this year, which was shocking. Honestly, shocking. Shout out Fit to Rave. My girl Shannon, we do like her workout program throughout the year. So she had us all like come together on the boat and do a group workout, which is fun. So like the gym is included. The spa is not. I think the spa is an add-on. Like the beach day, like I mentioned, this year we docked in Labadee, Haiti, which was gorgeous. And we had 2 stages of music. So that was all included. Any drinks that you bought on site, if you had the drink package, it still counted on the beach day. Otherwise, if you were paying out of pocket, you would just pay out of pocket. And then, like I said, the programming and everything is pretty much included. The only things you pay for in addition is if you book one of like the artist activities. That's like a special activity. I think it cost me like $15 for one of those like activities, like yoga. So yeah, but most of the programming is like you can just sign up for it and it's like free. So add-ons. So these are things that cost an additional price. So number one thing is the drink package. Most people do it. It's not cheap. It's like $99 a day. So it's going to cost you like $450 for the whole weekend. But if you drink a lot, which you probably will drink a lot, like from the moment you wake up and you're at the pool and you want a mimosa till like a margarita at dinner, you might want to do the drink package. And it's more expensive if you buy it on board. So you want to buy it in advance, but the drink package costs extra. The spa costs extra. Wi-Fi, I buy Wi-Fi every single time. Otherwise, you're literally not going to have a signal. Wi-Fi costs extra. And then like if you want to go to the casino, there's a fully functioning major casino on these boats, obviously, or if you're going to go gamble, that costs extra. So there's a few things here and there. And like the restaurants, like we tried to do a group dinner at the Italian restaurant. We just like could not get around to it, but that would have been an extra cost had we wanted to do it. I'm sure I'm missing other things. Like there's a Starbucks package. So if you drink a lot of Starbucks and coffee, you could just pay for a package and it would be cheaper for you. But I think that's everything I want to cover for that. Alrighty. So next I want to talk about the stages. I think I was missing some of them on my list. So I'm going to look at the actual app. There's a Groove Cruise app that was new this year. So the stages, first and foremost, there was this one kind of had like multiple main stages, but I would say like the Aqua Theater, which was the back of the boat. It was open air stadium like seating with like super long benches. And then, like the DJ in the middle, and you have the view of the ocean behind you. Super freaking beautiful. That's like where the opening party was this past year, where Prids and James Hype and Medusa played together. So the Aqua Theater we spent a lot of time at. That was really, really fun. Then you had the Amber Theater. This was like inside, and it was like a typical theater you would imagine on a boat that like they would normally have like shows in, like a Broadway show. So it was like a main floor on the bottom, and then they had like theater seating. Loved that. Awesome lasers, awesome visuals. The theater seats were so fucking comfortable. Then there was Studio B Ice Rink. This was also a favorite of our group. We spent a ton of time here. Friday night, we were there for like 5 hours straight. This was boiler room style. The DJ booth was in the middle of the ice rink. You could literally stand around it, and then it also had seating. So like one of the nights, which was my favorite memory, like literally just posted up in like 3 rows of the theater seats and just vibed out the whole fucking night because it was like all house music. So loved the boiler room like setup of that. Then you had the pool deck, which was very different than last year. Last year, the pool deck was like the main stage. This time it was like a more interesting setup because there was only like a little bit of room right in front of the DJ, but then there was literally a pool. So you could like stand and dance in the pool, or you could dance around the pool, or you could stand behind the DJ. But that was perfect for like daytime sets, sunset sets. We did Maddox at like 1 a.m. there the last night, which was like my favorite set of the whole weekend. So the pool set was like a fucking vibe, and I really, really liked that. Then you had the Royal Promenade. So that was like right when you get on the boat. This was deck 5. Like think of like a promenade, like a shopping center. So that's like your main shopping strip with like a bunch of restaurants, shopping. There was a pub, the late night pizza. They had just like a little mini pop-up stage. So at like almost all hours, the promenade was like a pop-up stage. Then there was Dazzles. Dazzles was a 2-tier, like another venue. It wasn't my favorite. It just was really condensed. It was like a smaller space, but there was like a smaller dance floor, bars, and the top floor kind of like wrapped around. And you could like view onto the dance floor. So that one was cool. They had an Ophelia takeover there one day. The Blaze stage, this was literally just like a cute little bar nightclub that would normally be used on a cruise as like a little mini nightclub. We didn't end up seeing any sets here until the last day. Me and A just walked in here to get videos because we were like, we didn't even get to go to Blaze. And it was a cool little vibe, small little clubby dance floor. It was cute. Comedy Live. So literally picture like a Comedy Cellar space. They used that as a stage. That's also where I hosted my Family Feud, which was so fun. So literally when I say every venue you could imagine on a cruise ship where like people would be going to see comedy shows, they used every single room as a stage. So like it was just like Alice in Wonderland. Like you're like opening a door, walking into a new adventure, a new vibe, a new crowd, like so fucking fun. The fuel deck. So the fuel deck was up on the 16th floor. It was really hard to find, but it was such a vibey little space. Like it was literally this automatic door that you walked up, it like opened, and then it was like kind of really dark in there, super like smaller dance floor, and just like a little DJ pop-up set. So that was really vibey. The casino. So this happens almost on every Groove Cruise. It's the same thing, pop-up set. They literally just drop the DJ decks in the middle of the casino, and it's a fucking vibe, and they're playing music around there like 24/7. Then I had the living room. I didn't go here, so I don't know what this was, but I also heard the library was a pop-up set. So I'm assuming like living room library was like a whole other stage. The solarium. So the solarium was gorgeous. I think this was all the way on the front of the boat, but it's like what you picture a solarium. It was all glass ceilings, all glass, like wraparound windows. And this was used as the wet oasis, which was like a restful, chill zone, like relaxing decompression, de-stimulating zone. But then at nighttime, it turned into the afters stage, which went into like the morning till like noon. So it was kind of used for like both purposes. But we saw Ranger Trucko. He was playing like a marathon 7-hour set in the solarium, and we went at like 9 a.m. And it was a fucking vibe. We were just like chilling, having coffee. People were having breakfast as he's like DJing in the solarium. So they also had like hot tubs in there. They had a bistro in there, tanning, like whatever, tanning beds and stuff like that. So solarium was fire. Then Central Park. Central Park was on the 8th deck, and it was another, they called them different neighborhoods. That's how big these ships are. They had 7 different neighborhoods. One of them was literally Central Park. So it was like this full grassy, like green area, which was so cool. So you like walked on here and it was just like walls of like greenery, trees, bushes, flowers, super beautiful. A lot of the nicer dining was on this floor. So it was like the Italian restaurant. I forget what else, like a chop house. So they also had like a pop-up DJ set on the Central Park level, which was cool. You guys are real ones for sticking through me. I know this is so much information, but I really want to give you like all the tea. And then the terminal, I think the terminal was literally just like the port. They had some sets playing there like as people were waiting to get on the ship. So hopefully I just named everything. I think I got it all. Again, go watch my vlogs. I've started posting the vlogs. If not, they're all up already. And I tried to capture videos from as many of the stages as I could. But overall, top stages, if I had to pick 3, I would definitely say the Aqua Theater because it's a fucking vibe. It was absolutely beautiful. I would say the pool deck and the Amber Theater. I thought the Amber Theater for an inside stage was really, really cool. Oh, the ice rink. Probably the ice rink over the Amber Theater. Okay. Best sets. Let's talk music now, you guys. Alrighty. So I was writing down notes as we went throughout the weekend. Honestly, it's kind of a mix, which is nice. But if I had to absolutely pick my favorite set, it would be Maddox, who has been on my radar for a minute. He is a fucking fire techno artist, but he also can play like some trancey like elements. I believe he's from Germany, and I fucked up. I ended up going to sleep Saturday night, and I missed his set in the Amber Theater. And I'm not gonna lie, I have FOMO, and I do regret not just like pushing myself 1 extra hour to see him. However, I made up for it, and he was my final set of Groove Cruise. He played on 1 a.m. the last day for an hour, and when I say it was like the most relentless high energy set I've ever seen. It was just like heavy techno for an hour, and our group was losing our minds. It was like we were on our last brain cell, running on fumes, but it just gave us this like burst of energy, and we just went fucking nuts and danced our like little hearts out and had a blast. So that I think was my favorite set of the whole weekend. But I'm gonna give you guys some shout outs. The Odd Mob pool set, chef's kiss. Odd Mob, every set I saw all weekend. He played it back to back with Joshua, also fire. Big fan. Nicole Mudaber back to back. Leighton Giordani, heaven. Techno legend. Leighton Giordani, one of my favorite producers right now, like fire. Yotto and the Amber Theater hit all the right notes. Beautiful. The Seven Lions throwback set in particular, I missed his regular set because I just wanted to see the Nicole Mudaber and Leighton Giordani. So I was like, I already saw Seven Lions. He played a throwback set and then surprised us with an Abraxas set, and I fucking lost my mind. Like, Abraxas does not happen often. I don't think I've seen it in years, and it was so special. I kind of guessed it was going to happen because Demibo and Blastoise were on the boat, and we got an Abraxas set, and it was one of the most fucking insane things. I posted a clip from it on my Instagram, and it has 1 million views. Like, it went viral, which is so sick. And then I got to shout out the It's Murph pool set. It's Murph was a pleasant surprise for me. He was so much fun. James Hype and Medusa setting the tone for the weekend. Prids is not top of my list. It was a great start for the weekend, but I've seen him do better personally. Annabelle England and the Ice Rink, fantastic. And then, like I mentioned, Odd Mob and Joshua going back to back. I do also just want to touch on the beach day really quickly because the music was awesome and so fitting for a beach day. But when we got off at Labadee, this port was different than last year. Last year we had to like get on these like smaller ferry boats, and then that took us over to, I think we went to the Grand Cayman. This time it's a port city, so you literally just got to pull up the Royal Caribbean like boat and then walk off the ship, which I liked so much better. But yeah, they had 2 stages at the beach, which was cool. I didn't even get over to the second, which sucks, but they were like a bit of a walk apart. So one stage was all like trance music, and then the other one, which I went to, was like Annabelle England, and then Bunt was the headliner there. And he also played just like a really fun set. It was a lot of like the sing-along, like classics remixed. And he's just like a fun, like stutter house kind of artist. So Bun at the beach when we were all like swimming in the water with our pina coladas, just like having a vibe, was really, really fun as well. So I did want to mention that. But overall, if you're interested in Groove Cruise and you're curious about the lineup, this boat skews more on like the house, trance, techno kind of vibes. There are still other genres. There was a whole drum and bass takeover this year, which was fucking awesome, called The Trench. And then they do have like a ton of melodic bass, because you'll see a lot of the Ophelia people on here year after year, because they have a really good relationship with Groove Cruise. So you will get some like melodic bass, some dubstep here and there, but this is not like a heavy bass music festival. There's no like hard style. So it's not like every single genre is present the whole weekend. It definitely skews more for like the house, techno, trance crowd. But again, there's a whole like taking back emo kind of night, which I know like Lucy played. So there's like an emo night, which is fun. So there is like a little bit of everything for everyone. But I did just want to mention that, because if you're like a heavy bass head and you're curious about this cruise, may not be for you. But you also may be open to like so many other genres. So I think that's all I'll say about sets for right now. But I really think there's a lot of beauty and like the undercard on this lineup, which is cool. And I did get to interview a bunch of artists, which I know I mentioned in the beginning, but I ended up interviewing Tita Lau and James Hype, which was so fucking cool. I did Lucy, I did Misbehave, and I did Cosmalia as well, who I interviewed last year. So those are all going to be up on the channel as well. Okay, let's dive into the pros list. I'll try to go through this one a little bit quicker, but for me, these are like, the top things of Groove Cruise, like the biggest pros that made me want to come back year after year. I've already touched on community and GC fam and like my group. That's a given. The group, like Rave fam we have for this cruise, is just some of my favorite people in the entire world. And it's like the funniest, most unhinged group of individuals. And I like look forward to our reunion every year. So I feel like I just like belly laughed the entire time. And that's such a good feeling to have. So just the group and the community. Second thing is the themes. So I didn't touch on this yet, but for Groove Cruise, the themes are like one of the biggest parts of it. So every single day and every single night, there is a different theme. So in total, you have 8 to plan for, 8 outfits to pack. People get really fucking into it. At least like last year they did. There were definitely a lot more people this year who were a little bit more casual, but the more you get into it, the more you'll get out of it. So every single year when you pull up to the port, the first day is always the represent theme. So you could represent anything, your favorite sports team, where you're from, your favorite artist, like literally anything you want to represent. Like this year I picked my favorite artists because Prids and Seven Lions were on the boat, so I represented them. Last year I represented my podcast. If you're a virgin, you wear white, so like everybody knows that you're new if you're wearing a white outfit when you get there. But then every year they switch up the theme. So it's completely new. It's something I always look forward to. I love waiting for that announcement because I'm like a Halloween person. I love dressing up. So for me, the outfits and the themes are a huge part of it. And I think my favorite themes this year was the Stars on Deck, which was like famous movie characters. Aid, my roommate, and I were Glinda and Elphaba from Wicked. That was so much fucking fun. And then on top of that, like, last year I didn't bring as many like gifts and trinkets because I was new and it was all overwhelming. This year I came prepared, and I think the other people in our group who were new also caught on. They were like, oh my God, next year I'm going to think of so many more things to bring with me. So if you're new, don't stress about that. But this year for Stars on Deck, I ordered like mini Oscar statues and I printed titles on them. So I gave people like awards throughout the whole night, and I was just like cracking up. So I gave my friend like the sexiest MILF award. I gave Trivecta like the most glorious hair award. I gave out an award to Lucy that said like BDE, Big Deck Energy. So I just had like a lot of fun with the themes and the trinkets and the gifts I was giving out. One of the themes was Only Farms. So that's why on my lunchbox, if you guys see, I got this little trinket. It's like a mini barn, like keychain. That was hysterical. People were dressed up as like fucking farm animals, cowboys, cowgirls, like everything you could imagine under the sun. That was entertaining as hell. And then Candyland, we did 50 shades of Candyland. So again, it's like, people will be dressing up a little sexier. 50 Shades of Candyland was a daytime theme, and that was like probably the most creative. People were like DIY the shit out of things. They just were so crafty. It was so fun to look at. So big fan of the themes. Can't wait to see what they pick next year. I would say overall the rooms are really great. So I did a balcony room both years. 10 out of 10 recommend. I just want more space, and I like having the balcony to like go outside, reset, like see the beach and the beach and the islands when you pull up to it. But depending on your price point, there's everything from like an interior room, an ocean view room, balcony. I thought the rooms on Royal Caribbean were super nice. I thought the staff was so nice. The people who cleaned our room were awesome. And everyone I interacted with in like the dining rooms and things like that, I had no issues with any of the staff. I thought they were so lovely. So Royal Caribbean did a great job with that. They are not Groove Cruise staff. They are Royal Caribbean staff. So they saw some shit. So many stages to explore. Like I mentioned, so much to do, endless activities. I really liked the hot dogs. I thought that was so funny. There was a whole boardwalk area. That was one of the neighborhoods, was the boardwalk. So there was like a carousel, donut shop, ice cream shop, candy shop, that, was at your disposal. There was a Johnny Rockets. So all of that was like right outside the Aqua Theater, which was super nice. The ASL interpreters were awesome. They were at the Aqua Theater, and I know in the Amphitheater, I don't know if they were at every stage, but for there were attendees who were deaf, and they had the sign language interpreters at the stage, and they were going fucking off. We were dying watching them. We were like, they are getting more into it than the artists. So like during Seven Lion set, they were like, I was just watching them half the time. Like they were amazing. So the ASL interpreters were fantastic. Hats off to Groove Cruise for doing that. There were so many female DJs on board, which I was really proud of. Like I interviewed almost all, female DJs other than James Hype. So love that. Love seeing the diversity in the artists that they're booking. I already mentioned the ice ring stage. I really liked the boiler room style of that. There are little gifts in your room. They did this last year as well, and I really appreciated it. But when you first arrive, you get like new luggage tags. You get a like dry erase board and marker. So they give that to you on board, and everyone puts their like dry erase board on their door, and people like write messages to each other. They gave you a water bottle. So they give you like little gifts in your room, which are the best. And I love that. And I didn't mention this yet, but door decorations are a huge part of it as well. Every deck has a different theme. And you can join the Facebook groups. 10 out of 10 recommend. There's a main like Groove Cruise attendees 2026 group, and then there's also like your deck. So I don't know what deck I'm on yet, but this year I was on deck 12. So I joined the deck 12 Facebook group, and everybody voted on a theme. Our theme was flamingos. My friends were all on deck 14, and the theme of deck 14 was dicks. So you can imagine all of the decorations on their floor. I have pictures and videos, and it was literally insane. I felt for the staff who had to walk through that deck every fucking day. So yes, not suitable for work, but very funny. So anyways, point of that is you can decorate your door. We didn't go with the theme since we were the Wicked characters. We decorated our door as Wicked. So our door said, "Are you a good witch or a bad bitch?" And then I bought the little like legs, the witch who gets the house landed on her with the like the tights and the ruby slippers. I brought the legs to put under the door, and then we never did, and it just sat in the room. But anyways, the thought that counts. The drone show, I don't know if this has ever happened in the past. I don't think so. I think it was new, but there was a drone show this year, which was really fucking cool. It was at the very end of Eric Pridz's set when we were still in the port. And it said like GC fam and everything in the sky. I didn't have the best view, but I got some videos, and that was really cool. So that was essentially in Miami before the boat left. Hope they do that again. I think they just continue to find ways to step up. So I loved the drone show. I liked the decorations for each theme. So again, to just prove how above and beyond the team goes, they changed the decor for every theme pretty much. So it's like a lot of like inflatables and things like that, but like the main stages, they flip the decor every morning and evening to match the theme of like the day, which is so fucking cool. So for like the cowboy theme, it was all like cowboy decorations. Last year was 50 Shades of Nintendo. They put up like Nintendo decorations. So I really love that they like go all out with the themes and the decor. And I think that was kind of it. I mean, I have, again, like a million other pros I could say other than just like the boat itself. And then, yeah, and just like everything you have access to. Things to improve. I feel like this is a big list to include as well because there's always things to improve. And I'm going to link the Facebook group down below because I always read through the Facebook groups because my experience is different than somebody else's. And I want like a well-rounded review of what happened because even if I didn't experience it and it was a common, pain point, I want to talk about it on here. So I kind of gathered the like biggest things that I saw. One thing that I thought was like interesting feedback, there was mixed feedback on the ship. I feel like for the veterans, a lot of them said the ship felt too big. And they missed the closeness of a smaller ship, which I understand. Like you definitely ran into people a lot easier last year than this year, but I like the nicer, bigger ship, so I'm here for the bigger ship. I will say the layout was very confusing. There's nothing they can do about that. Like last year, we figured out the ship instantly. This year, I was still getting lost by like day 3. Like it just was such a fucking big boat, and there's so many different ways to maneuver it. So it takes some getting used to. There's nothing to improve there, but like, it's an adjustment, I would say. I saw a lot of people saying lack of water. I think it was just hard to find. So obviously there's bars like everywhere where you can purchase water, but they have free water almost everywhere as well. They'll have just like the jugs that you can fill up like a cup of water. So I think it was just easier to find in some places than others. And I did have people in my group saying like we left the stage and went to go find water and couldn't find any. So I think they maybe just need to add more or add more signage in general. That was some feedback. The fuel deck on deck 16 was really hard to find the first day. Like we were so fucking confused. So I think signage would be awesome. What else? Food is a big one that I didn't get to talk about yet. So I actually preferred the food on the Norwegian. I think our group as a whole was like, it was good, it did the job, but we didn't think that it was great, which was surprising. I thought Royal Caribbean food would be much, much better. But it did the job. Like I think the buffet was like totally fine for that. Like I said, I think like some of the treats we had were good. Like the pizza, the hot dogs were good. We ate in one of the bistros for lunch one day. That was fine. And then the main dining room I thought was like the best overall, but I wish we had done some of the specialty dining. There was also a Mexican place that was open for lunch that was included, and I didn't get over there. But overall, I think a lot of people were saying the same thing, that food was like okay. So I hope next year it's better on the Wonder of the Seas. The only other big thing of feedback I would give on this was the late night options were extremely limited, and we were super bummed about this year. So I don't know if they have control over opening more, but I think last year, I remember the buffet was open like almost 24/7 because we would literally go back to the buffet, grab a plate of food and bring it to the dance floor because you're up all hours of the night. So the like hot dog place closed at like 1 a.m. I want to say, if not 12 a.m. And then pizza was the only option open late night. So I didn't get like sick of the pizza, but by like night 3, I was like, okay, I want something other than pizza like every single night. And the buffet was not open. Like really there were like no late night options other than pizza. So I did see a lot of other people saying like we missed more food options being open late. And I don't know about room service. I only got it for breakfast one day. So I don't know if room service was 24/7. Another thing we'd love to see improved was more time on the island. Not sure what happened, but we ended up pulling in later than expected. So we didn't get off the boat till I think they started letting people off by 11 a.m. We got off around like 11:30, and then we got back on the boat by 3:30 because everyone had to be back on by 4. So it really wasn't that much time. It felt very, very, very fast. And the beach day is like my fucking favorite, to be honest. Like that's what makes it feel like a vacation. Like there's nothing better than the beach day when you pull up, you wake up in the morning, you like, if you have a window or balcony, it's the best. You like open it and you just see this gorgeous Caribbean island and you're like, oh my God, I get to go have like a private beach party all day. It's the best. So we love it. And it's just like, I have my pina colada, I'm in my bathing suit, we're dancing in the water, Bun is playing in the background. Like it's just the best fucking vibe. So just more time on the island. If we could pull in, like I would literally get off the boat at like 9:30 in the morning if we could, just to take advantage of the beach. There were some people, so usually like theft is not an issue. People return your shit, people don't touch your stuff. It's a very safe environment, but our group did have somebody take one of their items from their door, and we did see a couple people say in the Facebook group that it was like a lot of like the door decorations that people were taking from each other. So that is not a part of GC culture, and I don't know if those were like new people that were doing that, but door decorations are not there to steal unless, you know, people are saying like take one, because there are plenty of doors that like give stuff out for free and it clearly says like take one, leave one. So a little bit of stealing this year, which I didn't think was that cool. What else? I think we can do more. Like they had like some cryo and sparklers going off at the Aqua Theater stage that were a little sad. We were cracking up. They were just like poorly timed. Sometimes like they would go off randomly and they would just like look a little sad. So we were like, I think they need to step up the production a little bit more next year with the sparklers and the cryo. It just was a little sad at the Aqua Theater. We were like dying laughing at one point because they would just like go off not with the drop from time to time, and we thought it was so funny. So that, and then yeah, like my only last thing is like sometimes when it gets like later at night, again, I mentioned it's a very free environment and people are, you know, under the influence. So some people get like a little over the top with PDA and touching people. And consent is a huge thing. I know the Groove Cruise team takes that very seriously. They talk about it a lot, but like one older woman like tried to spank me when I was getting on an elevator. Like I literally just felt someone spank me on the butt and I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, you look like you need a spanking. And I was like, and went to go do it again. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like she literally had a battle. So there's like moment occasionally, not a lot, but every now and then there are some people who like take it over the top and it's a lot. So I think, you know, people just need to know boundaries and like consent. That's a big thing. But those are the main things that I would personally improve on for next year. Alrighty, fam, we're getting to the end. Okay, favorite moments and stories. I've kind of touched on a few, but overall, I would say the Only Farms night was wild. I think I went into it knowing that night would be the craziest just given the theme. But like when I just tell you, you would just look around and be like, where the fuck am I? Like this, people are so funny and they bring the most random shit and we're just like in the middle of the dance floor and like all these inflatable, like a llama, a cow, like all these random animals just started popping up when we were losing our minds. Like it just was so fucking funny. So like Only Farms night was one of the best nights on board. I was peeing my pants laughing. That was great. Like I mentioned, the beach day, our group brought a lot of like props with us this year. So we had like inflatable tridents that we brought with us. Like me and Aid brought these little flamingos because the theme was tropic like it's hot. We brought like little flamingos that you could drink out of. I brought like little beach umbrella straws and was like putting those in people's drinks. So just in general, loved the beach day, and Labadee was beautiful in Haiti. One of my favorite core memories, I will never fucking forget this. We were at the pool, so everyone's like in their bathing suits, like, you know, I think this was the Candyland theme, and we decided we were going to go to the main dining room instead of the buffet. So no one was dressed for the main dining room, but we were like, let's just go. And it's a 3-course meal. You get like an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. So we're like, fuck it. So we walked to the dining room, and when I just like, if you guys can remember the movie Titanic, the last scene in the movie when like Jack and Rose are dead and they're like walking to the boat and all of the like cast is like lined up on the sides of the boat. Like we get to the main dining room, the entire Royal Caribbean staff is lined up on either side, and my friend Barry is the fucking best in the entire world. He's just in his Speedo and he's peeing his pants laughing. We're all crying laughing. We're like, put your fucking pants on. And he did not. And so we're just walking through this like line of people looking like absolute jabronis. And he's just in his Speedo, and like the Royal Caribbean staff is cracking up. We're cracking up. We were just like, this is so unhinged. Like, in what world would this be okay to walk to a dinner like this? And like, of course, other people are dressed like that. Some were like more dressed up. They did not care, but he did put his pants on. But like, core memory for me is just walking through that very, very, very long hallway to the main dining room with Barry in his Speedo. I will never forget that. It was so funny. The ice rink, like I mentioned, on Stars on Deck night, we just posted up with our whole group. We got there early. We were there for hours. And since there was some like theater seating, we took like 3 rows. And we were just posted up having the time of our lives with each other. We were dying laughing. Everyone's like, one of my friends was dressed up like as a wrestler. The rest of the guys were like all dressed up as like different themes. And we just were dying laughing, cracking up, making each other laugh, doing the dumbest shit. And it was just a blast. Like that night was one of my favorites. And it was like Annabelle England played an amazing set there. Just great night. Joshua played like so fun. So I really, really loved like our ice rink like fam moment. The Aqua Theater opening party, like from Eric Prydz going into James Hype back to back Medusa, like with the drones show as we're sailing off from Miami. Like it just set the tone for the weekend. And I just like, that was one of my like present moments that I was like, I couldn't wait to be back. I'm so happy I'm here surrounded by these amazing people. So that was incredible. Meeting so many of you guys on the boat, trading trinkets with people, my family feud that I got to host. So many people came out to it and it was so much fun. We had some like hiccups here and there, but definitely I'm planning on doing it again next year. And it was a lot of fun to host Family Feud. So thank you if you came out to that. It was so much fun. They brought the vibes. Shannon's workout class that we did, I know I can't believe I'm saying that, but we honestly had like a big crew and it was really fun, like doing a little workout on Friday morning. AIDS workshops were awesome as well. I got to see her do her thing, and she had an amazing intention setting workshop, which is just like so relieving, and she did awesome human design workshop. And then lastly, the elevator vibes. I think that's like one of the biggest, most entertaining things on Groove Cruise is like you walk onto an elevator and every ride is a journey. It's the best way to put it, especially depending on the time of day. There's just so many characters. That's the best way to put it. And so at any time of day, you'll walk onto the elevator and just like strike up a conversation. I think it was the only Farms night we got on the elevator and the guy just had the perfect timing. And we just get on. He's like, now, ladies and gentlemen, keep your arms and legs inside. This elevator can only go up or down. Like he just said it with a Southern accent. We fucking died laughing. So he was like, it gets better every time I do this. So he was just riding the elevator, like making people laugh. So elevator vibes are the fucking best. I did happen to stumble upon elevator Twister again, a second year in a row. So these people literally put a Twister board on the floor of the elevator and make you spin it and play Twister with them. So happy I ran into them both years. It was amazing. So yeah, those are, again, just a couple stories of a bajillion that happened throughout the weekend. I'm sure I'm missing so many more. So please go watch the vlogs. You'll see everything in the vlogs. And then really quickly, tips for next time. I didn't have too much on here, but the two biggest like rookie mistakes I made this time was not getting waters delivered to the room. So we did have our like canteen waters, and when we first arrived, I brought like literally one water bottle with me. But the rest of the weekend I was just like drinking the free water, or I was like buying a water bottle and bringing it back to the room. And obviously I'm like drinking whatever. So I was just drinking through my water really quickly, and there was one morning that I literally had to like call room service, and I ordered like breakfast, and I ordered 4 giant water bottles to the room. So you can, when you get there, you can call room service and order like a case of water to your room, which we didn't do and didn't realize. So I kept running out of water and being thirsty, and that was like a big no-no. So next year we're ordering a case of water to the room so we do not run out of water. Same thing with Liquid IV. Totally forgot like any kind of like electrolyte drink this year, and I missed it a lot. So even like Groove Cruise, if you guys could give out electrolyte packets instead of the beef sticks that we got, that would be awesome. I feel like Liquid IV would be a really good partner. So I think that's like kind of everything I have here. We're getting to the end, so I want to give you guys my final thoughts, and then I will quickly tell you how to book for 2026 if you guys are curious. And then I did answer some of your questions online as well, so I can pull those up on here. Alrighty, so I'll do these quickly. These were questions that came in from Instagram that I covered. Somebody said, did you know about the drone show, or were you surprised? I found out like literally maybe 5 to 10 minutes before it was happening, so I did not know that. Somebody said, are there any sets that you missed due to sleep? 1,000,000% yes. I am a person that I am going to sleep every night. I put myself to bed. I had to make the big girl adult decisions. So I'm not somebody that's like, I'm going to take a cat nap and wake up. Some of my friends did that. Some people stayed up till like 4 or 5 in the morning and made it till sunset sets or sunrise sets. I'm not like that. When I like look at the set times, if there's people between like 3 to 7 or 8 a.m., I personally know I'm most likely not going to make it. So yes, the Maddox set I missed. He was at like 1:30 Saturday, and I like literally went to bed. I missed him. And Medusa played a techno set at 4:30 to 6 a.m. and my friends like took a nap and woke up and went to it. I slept through that. So I definitely like, you have FOMO, but most artists play multiple times. So I personally prioritize sleep. What was your favorite theme day? I think I covered it. I think Stars on Deck and the Candyland one were my favorite. I got so many questions about EDC versus like EDC, SEA versus Groove Cruise. I've personally not done EDC. They've only done 2 so far. It is brand new. I have a partnership with Groove Cruise, so I do not have any plans on going on any other cruise lines. From my understanding, EDC obviously has an amazing like lineup and production. They don't have the programming that Groove Cruise has. They don't have music 24/7. They stop playing music at a certain point. So for me, I think Groove Cruise has just been in the business longer and have nailed down like their culture. And I also believe like Groove Cruise probably is an older crowd than EDC is. So it just depends. But in general, I love cruise ship festivals. I think like if you try them, you're going to love them too. Favorite set and most surprising set. So the Maddox techno set was my like favorite one. And I think most surprising was It's Murph on the pool deck. I knew he would be good, but I just had so much fucking fun. And he threw down and I was like, holy shit, I would see him again 1000%. So yes. Somebody said, is Groove Cruise better than most EDM festivals? I'm going to make a bold statement, but right now it's my favorite weekend of the year. Personally, I just think it's all encompassing and everything in one and like a vacation in one. So I will look forward to it the most as like my top event of the year for sure. Drink package, worth it. How much are drinks if you don't get the package? So again, if you think you're going to drink even a couple drinks a day, I would say get the drink package. If you're like, I'm only going to have 1 to 2 drinks a day, just buy the drinks. But I did not have the package. I would share with people. So we ended up paying our friends and like splitting the package. So they would just like go up with their card, buy it and bring us drinks, which you're not supposed to do. But we did that. And we just paid our friends. Cause if one person in your room buys a drink package, you both have to buy a drink package. So if you're in a quad and 2 of you want the drinks, 4 of you have to buy it. There is no choice, just an FYI. So you guys have to decide as a group, are you buying it or not buying it? Again, I think it's worth it if you're going to drink a lot. So like a normal drink, I think I bought like a margarita at the pool one day and it was $14. Like it would be like what you would expect to normally pay in like a bar or something. So same thing with the beach day. Luckily I used like my friend's card to buy a drink, but on the beach day, if you don't have a drink package, you need to have your card and stuff because you're going to be buying drinks out of your pocket. Otherwise, your drink package works on the beach day. And in total, it's around like $450, $500 something. I think it's like $99 a day. How long is the beach party? I think I covered that. This year, we were only there for like 5 hours, but we left a little bit earlier. But did the bigger ship make it harder to split sets or reunite with your group? Great question. So I do think it just took longer to get places, and if we were on like one side of the ship versus the other, I don't think we split too much, but it was totally doable, and you would get there in maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops. It really wasn't that bad. We were at one set on the pool deck, which was complete opposite end of the boat. I think it was like front of the boat, and stayed for 20 minutes, and then we ran all the way to the back of the boat to the aqua theater. Got there in maybe 15 minutes and caught the rest of the trifecta set. Not hard to reunite with your group. If a couple of you have Wi-Fi, it works. You can text your friends. You can find them like honestly really, really easily. So not hard to find people. Could you do a full price breakdown? I will probably do like, I can do that as a separate video if you guys want on TikTok, but I'll talk about the room prices at the end here. What was the cost for this? How much is the drink package? I'm seeing a lot of the same questions. Are there a lot of solo cruisers? That's a great question. One girl in our group was staying in the room by herself. Last year, I stayed in the room by myself. She was a part of our group, but she actually was on the wait list and got added like a month or 2 before and couldn't find a roommate. So she just stayed in the room by herself. So yes, there definitely are solo cruisers for sure. There's also on the first day, there's a lot of meetups, which is awesome. So there's like a virgin meetup, which I went to both years. So if you're brand new, definitely go to this. They cover a lot of valuable information. The first day there was a military meetup. There was an LGBTQ plus meetup. So they also have meetups depending on like your, whatever sexual orientation, if there's like something you're a part of. So those meetups are really cool too. When do Groove Cruise passes go on sale? They are currently on sale and a lot of rooms are sold out already. I know all the balconies are gone on like all the top decks. So if you have a specific room in mind, I would buy it very, very, very soon. Last year sold out. This year will sell out. I know. Somebody said I've been on cruises before, but since this is a festival, is the balcony room actually worth it? So an interesting thing about these ships, there are balcony rooms on the interior as well, which were honestly very fucking cool looking. So you can get a balcony room looking into Central Park. So if you want a view of like that greenery and stuff. And then there's balcony rooms looking into the boardwalk. So if you had one close enough to the back, you could literally stand on your balcony and watch the sets in the Aqua Theater. That was one of the coolest things to watch from being like in the stage, like in the Aqua Theater. Like so many times I would just like look back at the balcony rooms and all these people were like dancing and vibing. So I honestly was like considering doing an interior balcony because I just was like, that would be so fucking cool to just like chill in your balcony and watch the sets. And I asked people who were staying in those rooms, they said it was very quiet. As soon as you shut your balcony door and locked it, you could not hear anything. So it did not affect their sleep. On the 12th floor, you don't hear shit. So people who are concerned about sleeping, and when you're in your stateroom, you do not hear fucking anything. And then if you bring earplugs on top of it, you're not going to hear anything. So you're good. So it just depends on what kind of rooms you want. I think somebody also asked me about motion sickness. I think I skipped that. But motion sick people, do not fear. I'm a motion sick girly. I just come prepared. So do you feel the ship? Yes, I definitely felt the ship a lot more this year than I did last year. So I personally took 2 non-drowsy Dramamine every single day. Like as soon as I woke up, never skipped that. And then I had motion sick patches I bought on Amazon. I would put them on every single day. There's also motion sick wristbands that you could bring. I didn't try them this year, but I did pack them with me. So a couple of times I got slightly motion sick, but it never lasted long. So can it happen? Yes, but just like try to be prepared. It was really when I'm in the front of the boat, you feel it more. So when we were doing the group workout, the gym is in the front of the boat and I could feel it swaying during our workout and I got like a little queasy, but again, like that went away quickly. And I think one of the other days we were like walking from a stage and you could like kind of feel the boat swaying a little bit. So if you have it and you're afraid, like don't be. You can 1000% do this cruise. It's a very, very big boat. Just like pack all the essentials that you would need for you. If they had a 7-day festival cruise, would you attend or is this just enough? Probably not. 4 days is so fucking much. You're so tired by the end of it. It's the perfect amount of time, to be honest. It's like 3 days on the boat, 1 day on the beach. Perfect amount of time. I don't think I could handle a 7-day cruise at all. Let me see if I missed any other questions. So many questions. Are there a lot of swingers on the boat with the pineapple emoji? You will see plenty of upside down pineapples on this boat. Again, everywhere. No. Do you need to participate in any of that? Absolutely fucking not. Are there some of them there? Yes. Is this a swingers cruise? Fuck no. So don't be worried about that. I feel like that comes up a lot and I'm going to debunk that thing. Like, yes, there were lots of upside down pineapples on this cruise, but again, I feel like it's the same as any other festival or like EDM culture in general. Like you're going to have people who are just very free doing whatever they want. You're just in an enclosed space and people were very, very open about putting that on their doors. So anyways, lots of fun questions there. Lastly, let's talk about how to book for 2026. So like I mentioned, I have my discount code RAVECULTURECAST, all one word, RAVECULTURECAST. That saves you $50 off per person per room. So up to $200 of savings on quad rooms. Definitely use that. I will leave the Miami 2026 booking link down below. The cruise does go out of Miami. Book a hotel for the night before. Do not fly in the day of the cruise. Horrible fucking mistake. If your flight gets delayed, if it gets canceled and you miss the boat, you're not getting on the boat. So fly in the day before or drive in the day before. Enjoy a day in Miami. Enjoy a night in Miami. There's a pre-party. There's plenty to do. So we fly in the day before. We stay in usually like South Beach or Brickell. And we have ourselves a time. And then you get to the port on like Thursday again next year. And there's different like check-in times that you can pick when you sign into the Royal Caribbean app, like much closer to the festival. So we got to the port around like 10 a.m. to check in for media. And my friends got there at like 11 or so. And I think the last time you can get on the boat is around like 2:30 p.m. So yeah, so that's like the whole docking process. Same thing leaving. You can for sure stay an extra day if you want to rest. I can't do that. I have to get back to work and my son. So the last 2 years I've like gotten off the boat and flown home the same day. It's a lot, but this year was actually like not that bad at all. I prefer to just go home. You get off the boat really early. Like they start the alarm at like 7 a.m. to get you off the boat. We were off by 9, I want to say. We were pretty quick. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. We always go like get a group breakfast to like decompress, and then my flight was at like 2 p.m. So if you're flying out on Monday, I would just try to make it like 1 to 2 p.m. or later, just to give yourself time. If you're going straight to the airport, you'll be fine. So I think I covered everything there. And then so booking. So if you guys go up on the website, like I mentioned, I don't want it to be too confusing. So click on Groove Cruise Miami 2026. And then I think the basic things you just need to understand is it completely varies depending on the type of room and how many people. So your cheapest option is obviously 4 people in an interior room. The interior rooms are really, really nice. You just don't have any windows, obviously. So that's like the cheapest option. So let me see. Like if you have 4 people in an interior, it's $9.99 per person, under $1,000. Pretty fucking doable. And then you have my discount code as well. So it's cheaper than that. And then it goes up from there. So there's different types of interior rooms, like I mentioned, depending on like what neighborhood they're on the ship. So just look through the site and, you know, it'll show you pictures of them. Then there's a spacious interior that might be sold out already. The next level up from interior is ocean view. So exactly as described, you just have like a circular window so you can see the beautiful ocean. And I think you can fit 2 to 4 people in those as well. So again, an ocean view could cost as little as, you know, $1,049 for 4 people, or it's $1,799 each for 2 people. So prices vary greatly depending on how many people. Then it gets bigger. Then you get to the balconies. So the balconies are all based on location. So like I mentioned, you can look over the Central Park area. You can look over the boardwalk so you can see like the stage, or you can have an ocean view balcony, which is a majority of the balconies, I feel like. I've done ocean view the last 2 years just because I like that view. So those range in prices. So for a 2-person ocean view, which is what we did, it's about $18.99 per person. So that's like what you're going to spend. And then there are junior suites. My friends did this. I don't know if any are left, but there are 4 guys in their room. They did an interior, the first room. It's tight. I will say you can 1000% do 4 in an interior. It's just tight with your luggage and you share 1 bathroom. So they did a junior suite this year, and I forget how much it was per person, but I think split by the 4 of them, it was still only like $18.99 each or something, or $17.99 for a junior suite. And then it goes up from there. There's like a grand suite with a bedroom. There's like, I don't even know if any of these are available, but there are like massive presidential suites on this boat as well, which like can range up to $25,000 per person. So it's crazy. If you're balling on a boat, like if you're fucking balling, go for that. But that's really all you need to know. Just decide, do you want an interior? Like, are you on a budget? You don't need windows. You don't care. I'm simple living. Go for an interior room. If you just want a little step up, go for an ocean view room. If you want to go all out, I love the balconies. I think balconies are great. So there's a lot of balcony options too. So that's kind of everything you need to know. And when you book the room, they'll ask you if you want to book the drink package right off the bat. So if you guys already know you want to commit to that, again, add the drink package to your room. That's per person. So you got to add that per person. And then later down the line, you guys can add things closer to the cruise sailing. So you can add like Wi-Fi down the line. You could add specialty dining, the Starbucks package, like any of that shit you can add down the line. So hopefully that explains everything. Again, if you have any questions at all on like how to book the rooms or the room, packages, definitely let me know. But the website has pictures of everything. You can browse, like go check out the Royal Caribbean Wonder of the Seas online. There's so many YouTube videos and stuff like that. And for people wondering, if you're splitting rooms, you can either get like twin beds, or you can have like a queen, and then it will be a sofa bed that pulls out. So like the guys that split the balcony suite or the balcony room this year, 2 of them were in a queen bed, 2 of them were in the pull out sofa bed. So that's kind of what it looks like. And then for the 4 people interior rooms, it's like bunk bed style. So I think like the beds fold out from the wall, and then there's 2 twin beds. So that's kind of like the setup pretty much of everything. But final thoughts on Groove Cruise to wrap up our Groove Cruise 2025 recap. I wanted to just say a huge thank you to the team again for having me, because it was such a memorable experience, and I have the most amazing memories with this community, with my fam, and they truly are here to build the best possible experience for everyone. And I know they take so much care and put so much value into this, so much hard work into the programming, into the lineup, every experience you have. We're in good hands. They have amazing core values at heart. So just know that you're in good hands when you're booking with Groove Cruise. I think naturally, as Groove Cruise grows in size, I think that kind of like opens up the floodgates to all kinds of people coming in. So I think, for veterans, just continuing to lead by example and showing people what Groove Cruise is all about. And then for new people coming in, just respecting the culture and learning about what you're getting into and contributing to the Groove Cruise family is a huge thing. So just respecting the space, respecting the staff, your fellow ravers, I think is a really big thing. But I don't want people to get deterred if there's like a couple bad apples here and there. Like naturally, when you double in size, there might be some bad apples or people not with the best intentions, and that's going to happen, but don't let that like ruin your whole experience. And for the veterans, if any veterans are listening, just know that some of us newbies, we've got you. We hope to continue on the traditions. We hope to be lifers here, and we want to continue the culture that you guys have created and maintained. So we do care. We are here to participate, and we are embracing it. So even just like, again, it was only my second one, but with like the newbies that we brought in, like they're all so on board and so excited for next year. So I can see like them being hooked for life. So yeah, I just wrote down, hopefully we can continue to build something beautiful together and not lose the core values of the GC fam as this scales. And it's just shaping up to be a yearly reunion for me and my Rave fam, as it just continues to be the most special event of the year. So thank you guys so much for listening. I hope I covered everything, but I know there's so much. So if you have any additional questions, do not hesitate to reach out, drop a comment here, let me know. Rooms are on sale. They're going very, very fast. So if you guys want to join us on Groove Cruise 2026, book with Rave Culture Cast, and I will leave all those links down below. Huge shout out to our partners, Lunchbox and Loop Earplugs. All my codes will be linked down below. So thank you guys for purchasing through those. Connect with us online at Rave Culture Cast on all of the platforms. If you guys love what you hear, rate, review, subscribe, do all of the things. And I will see you guys in my next episode. Bye, guys.